So find a comfortable seat and you can close your eyes if you're comfortable and find some stillness for yourself. If you don't have your eyes closed, you can just look slightly in front of you on the floor and just start tuning inwards. Becoming conscious of the room around you without opening your eyes, just knowing where you are. Any sounds that you might be hearing. Feeling the ground underneath you. And just feeling how it is holding you. Getting a sense of what those contact points feel like. Without any judgment, just noticing. Maybe soft, maybe hard. Maybe there's some sense of texture, temperature. Just observing. And then if you want to set an intention for this class, you can do that. And so we started talking about the yamas and the niyamas a few weeks ago. And the fourth yama, so kind of things to do in very simple terms, I guess, it's called brahmacarya. And that is often translated as celibacy, but I think a more modern interpretation is to not be ruled by your senses and not inflict pain on anyone, including yourself, that way. And so I was looking at the Yoga Sutras, which is this, I don't know, 3,000-year-old text. And in the translation that I like, there is some meaning that the person who translated it kind of prescribed to this brahmacharya yama. And one of those sentences really resonated with me in terms of long COVID and chronic fatigue. And that is, in the name of loving and giving, many times we lose this energy and become mentally and physically depleted. And it's a long text, but that sentence really stood out to me because I do think a lot of times we deplete ourselves in the name of loving and giving. And just felt very apt. So maybe something to reflect on this week. Start bringing in some breathing here. So as you're observing your breath, not changing anything if you can. If you do, that's also okay. Just noticing where in your body you feel your breath the most. Noticing if it's deep or shallow. Noticing if it feels slow or fast or somewhere in between. All of that is just right. Just about noticing where you're at today. And then if you can, breathe through your mouth, through your nose. Try and do that. And if not, that's okay too. And then we'll start slowly breathing into the space around and under our lower ribs. So if you want, you can place your hands on the side of your body, fingers in the front, thumb in the back, just kind of grazing your lower ribs. You can do that with both hands. I'm just doing it with one. And then slowly breathing into that space a little more. So into the space between your hands so that you can feel some movement there. Just observe what happens. Maybe that is very easy. Maybe it's not easy at all. Just notice where you're at. And then see if you can bring some ease into that breathing. You might think on your inhale, you might think the word deep. And on the exhale, you might think ease, if that feels right to you. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath. Then we'll start bringing in some counting and the breathing ratio. If it feels comfortable for you, we'll do a 4-6 breath. So inhale to the count of 4, exhale to the count of 6. And if that's not comfortable, you can always do half of that, so 2 and 3. Just making your exhale about 1.5 times as long as the inhale. Then you can bring your hands down by your side if they're still on your ribs. And we'll start moving our hands up together with the in-breath. So on the count of 4, or you just keep your own count and ratio. Just slowly bringing them up and then back down on the count of 6, or your own. So start counting. Inhale. And exhale back down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep going on your own count. And then we'll start on the next one, introducing some short breaks in the inhale and exhale every 2 seconds, a little pause, and you pause both with your breath and the movement. So inhale, 1, 2, pause, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, pause, 3, 4, pause, 5, 6. Inhale, pause, and exhale, pause, 3, 4, pause, 5, 6. Inhale, pause, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, pause, 3, 4, pause, 5, 6, and just keep going with that. If that feels too complicated or otherwise not right for you, just keep going with the previous one, just a 4-6 breath or whatever felt right to you. You can also rest your arms and just keep breathing. Or if it feels like you've kind of reached your capacity, you can always lay down on your back and rest for a moment while we keep going. A few more breaths here. And then once you've wrap up your last exhale, just go back to breathing normally in whatever rhythm feels right to you. And then we'll all come to our backs. You can bring your feet close to your hips, knees pointing up. Hands resting, palms down by your side. And just rest here for a couple of minutes, checking in with your body. See what comes up. Connecting to the ground through your palms and your feet, seeing what sensations might be there. And bringing your knees towards your chest. You can hold them with your hands if that feels good to you, or you can just leave your hands resting by your side. And then just start slowly rolling your knees side to side, if that feels good to you, just very gently. And on your next inhale, start reaching your right heel up towards the ceiling, stretching that leg. And exhale back down towards your chest. Inhale, left heel goes up. And exhale back down. Inhale, right heel. And back down. Exhale. Inhale, left. And back down. Exhale. Keep going in your own rhythm a few more times. And then place your feet back down on the mat, resting here. And bringing your feet about hips width apart, placing them firmly on the ground. So we'll do a couple of bridge poses. So keep going with that if that feels comfortable to you, and otherwise you can just rest here for a moment or stretch out your legs in Shavasana and just join us right after. If you're doing bridge pose, then just pressing your feet down into the floor and then slowly lifting your hips off the ground, either just a little bit or kind of all the way until you're in a straight line between your legs and your upper body, and back down. We'll do that again, coordinating with the breath. So pushing into your feet on the inhale, lifting the hips up. And exhale, back down. And then letting your knees pull together into the center and just resting here for a moment. And we'll do some light stretching of the glutes and your legs, so you can bring your right shin and ankle across the left knee in kind of a figure four pose, and then bring the left knee towards your chest as far as it'll comfortably go, and just stay here for a few seconds. Pull your knee a little bit closer on the exhale if you want, if that feels good to you. And just keep breathing here. And on the next exhale, relax. Bring your feet back down to the floor. Just tuning into your body. See if one leg might feel a little different from the other now. Maybe that's the case, maybe not. Just getting a sense for that. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Left ankle comes over the right knee. Right knee comes in towards your chest. And breathing here into the stretch. Maybe bringing your right knee a little closer on the next exhale, if that's comfortable. Taking a couple more breaths here. And release on your next exhale. Bring your feet back down, knees together. And just rest here for a few more breaths. And then from here, we'll stay lying down, bringing the soles of our feet together and letting the knees kind of flop out to the side. If that's not comfortable for you, you can bring your knees back towards the chest. And then on the next inhale, rolling slowly to your left side, bringing the right knee over to meet the left. And exhale back to where you started, both knees out to the side. Inhale, left knee goes over to the right side, rolling to your right. And exhale, back to center. And we'll just keep that movement together with the breath for a few more breaths. You can keep the 4-6 ratio that was comfortable for you, or just breathe in whatever way is comfortable. Inhale, roll to your side. And exhale, back to center. Just keep going. We'll do a couple more on each side. And then meet back in the center, soles of your feet touching, knees dropping out to the side. And stretch your legs out, letting them kind of drop to the side, your feet, so kind of pointing towards the corners of your mat, Shavasana. Hands by your side. If you have a blanket near, you can cover yourself up. And we'll stay here for a couple of minutes. Tune in to where your body and the ground touch, what that feels like, where you can feel that the most. And just feel how the body is carrying you. You don't need to do anything. So you can just let yourself be carried. You can start observing your breath again. Notice what that's like now, similar or different from earlier. And slowly start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Maybe move your wrists and your ankles a little bit. And if you have your eyes closed, you can keep them closed and just roll to your right side, making a pillow with your right arm. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And then slowly pushing yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed if you have them closed. Recalling your intention if you set one. We'll do one together, taking a couple of deep breaths together before. So inhale You can sigh out your exhale if that's comfortable. Another inhale. One deep inhale together. Bringing your palms together in front of your heart. And if you have your eyes closed, you can slowly open them. Coming back into the room, noticing where you're at, how you're feeling. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and of your week. Namaste.